So I promised you an exam review, and I'm going to do it, I think, in 5 parts. The first one is going to be pretty short and explain to you what you need to know from chapters 1 through 4. And it's not a whole lot. As we talked about in class, it's all about making sure that you review that vocabulary. And there are going to be words in that vocabulary that you're not very good at, you haven't remembered. So you go back through there and you make your note cards. And when you're making your note cards, you're using whatever strategy you use, you're taking note of the words that you're still struggling to learn. Whether it's the vocab from describing a classroom, or whether it's just some of these small words. I'm going to look through chapter 4 vocab here real quick and see, do you still remember that noch means still? Or let's look, do we remember warten means to wait? Those words that, whatever it is for you, leicht means easy. Go back through those, because those might pop up and you might be expected to know those. So as I said to you on Tuesday, the 17th, important to start reviewing all your vocab and just keep it up to date in your mind. The other 2 things that I want you to remember are how you conjugate your normal verbs and how you do the 2 regular verbs, haben and sein. Let's start with a verb like, kaufen. Kaufen is your simple E-S-T-T-E-N-T-E-N. Definitely going to expect you to know this for the test. And you have to be able to identify the subject in a sentence. Once you identify the subject in the sentence, then you have to put the proper ending on it. So for something like this, with kaufen, it's ich kaufe. Du kaufst. Es kauft. Wir kaufen. Ihr kauft. Sie kaufen. This should be really familiar to you, and you shouldn't probably have to spend a lot of time on that. The other 2 verbs that I want to remind you about, just move that. I'm going to go to another. Verbs that I want to remind you of are haben and sein. So we have haben, which just you have to memorize this. Ich habe, that makes sense. But then you drop the B here, and you have du hast. Sie, es hat. Wir haben. Wir haben, ihr habt, and Sie haben. And I'm telling you all, I guarantee you a section on the exam where you have to know the conjugation of haben. And I will say the same thing about sein. So let's go with sein here. So it's ich bin, du bist. See if I can get this all to move up for me. I can't. Sie, es ist. Wir sind. Ihr seid. And Sie sind. And there are some of you out there, and you know who you are, who still do not have these 2 verbs committed to memory. And you absolutely, positively have to. Like I said, this is pretty much what you have to know that is not directly covered in chapters 5 through 8.